Welcome back to my channel. So today I have my houseplant wish list for 2021 and it's a long one. It's a very long list, so go ahead, get a drink, get a snack, and let's jump into this. So I have two specific genuses that I love. They're both part of the Aroids family or the Aroid family, and these two genuses that I love are Monstera and Philodendron. So we'll go with the Monstera category first. And my first plant that I have for 2021 is the Monstera pinnati partita. So I will insert a picture here. It is a gorgeous plant. When it matures, the fenestrations are so like they're just like that. The splits are so wonderful. The texture of the leaves, it almost looks like a Monstera, like it would be textured like a Monstera Peru. But it's just the glossiness of the leaves, the dramatic size of the leaves, like it's just wonderful. I'm going to try to get my hands on one this year. I know Equigenera sells these, and I've been thinking about importing a plant for a while now. So I'm thinking that could be my own little video. So the next plant that I have here is a Monstera Thai constellation, and I actually want a Thai constellation more than I do the Albo variegata, because with the Thai constellation the variegation is stable. With the Albo, the variegation is not stable. Same thing with an Aurea, the variegation is not stable. Let's see, I'll actually pull my Aurea down as an example. So I have my Aurea right here. Used to have two leaves that were variegated, but it broke off. The other one broke off. And so I have this one variegated leaf. And then up here, both of these leaves are not variegated at all. Now, there is a growth spud or growth thing right in here in the pot. I can't show you without disrupting the pot, but it's down in there near where the variegated part is, and it just hasn't grown, so we'll see. But variegation is not stable. Thai constellation is stable, which I think is worth the money. Like, I don't want to be paying $1,000, especially right now with the plant market. I don't want to be paying $1,000 for a plant that can revert the next leaf. I think that's just too much of a gamble. I think it's scary. And plus, I've heard horror stories of, the white sections of half moons just melting away. So, no, I'd rather go with a cream variegation. I love cream yellow variegation. I love it. I love it. I love it more than straight up white variegation. So, next plant I have is Monstera Spa Peru. Now, this plant, the texture just looks so amazing. When it grows older, It has like dramatic fenestrations. It's just super cool. It looks like a dragon made it, like it's part of a dragon scale or something. It's super interesting. I love it. So cool. And I'm actually getting one in the mail here soon. I ordered it from a seller named Shannon's Plants on Mercari. I paid I want to say $40 including shipping, and that's because I wanted a substantial plant just in case it loses some leaves, that like it'll still be fine. She was selling like 2 leaf cuttings, and I did not feel comfortable buying a 2-leaf cutting in the dead of winter, because with my luck they'd both just croak and I wouldn't have anything. I would just have a stump. I'd have a stump, and I didn't want a stump. I wanted some leaves still, so I ordered a 5-leaf plant. So super excited. So next plant is Monstera subpinnata. As you can already tell, I love like big dramatic leaves, dramatic splits, glossy leaves, nice green foliage, huge foliage. Gotta love it, love it, love it. And what's so interesting is like it opens up like a corkscrew when the leaf unfurls. It's like a corkscrew. It's super cool. Super cool. And it kind of reminds me of a Rhaphidophora decursiva, which, I mean, if I can't get a hold of a subpinnata, I might want to get a Rhaphidophora decursiva. Now, next plant. I've been debating about getting this one recently, but it is the Monstera standeliana. Now, there's the green form, and then there's a variegated form. So there's cream variegation and white variegation. And I kind of lean towards the green variety because the green variety is actually much more harder to find than the variegated variety, surprisingly. You know, you would think the opposite, but no. The green form's harder to find. And I love the growth pattern, the way that it just sprouts from like one section and how it climbs. It's just amazing. I want one so bad, so bad. And there was a seller in Mercari selling a cutting for $25 of the green version, but it's unrooted, 1 leaf. I would rather spend $25 on a plant that would arrive alive, you know? And then plus with USPS being so behind because of COVID and everything, I'm just so scared. And plus, this person does not have heat packs. No heat packs. So it's like really off the table. The person that I bought my Monstera Peru from, they included a heat pack. I bought it, winter insurance, so I have that. Okay, so next, sorry, I'm looking at my computer for reference. So we have a Monstera dubia. Now this is a shingling Monstera, so it shingles upwards, and it's so cute. The immature form is just so adorable. The leaves are super teeny tiny, but then when it's mature, the leaves are just so dramatic. The fenestrations are huge, and like the splits are just magnificent. Now, you know, this plant won't mature until it's like, 20 years old, but it's still so beautiful, and I would totally be content with just having immature leaves my whole life, just because they're just so cute. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to philodendron. So first philodendron on my list is Philodendron pastazanum, and it's just the big dramatic leaves, it's gorgeous. There's, you know, this the texture and the veining is just so dramatic. It, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, when you look at a picture, it looks like that you could just touch it right there, and like it would feel like wrinkled bed sheets, or like wrinkled satin bed sheets, if that makes any sense. That's what it seems like it would feel like. And the leaves are just so huge, huge heart-shaped leaves. Love it. I had to get a pillow for my bum, so if I'm a little lower, that's why. Equigenera exports these too, so who knows, I might be Equigenera's #1 customer, I don't know. Next on my list is a plant that looks quite similar, but it's a bit different. It is Philodendron plomanii. Now, plomanii can have a little bit of a silver coloring, almost like a Philodendron mammy, if you've seen a mammy. And then they don't look as glossy as a pasta does, but I think it's still really wonderful plant. The veining's dramatic, the heart-shaped leaves are dramatic, so it's just a really wonderful looking plant, and I would love to have it in my collection. Next philodendron is Philodendron adibapuense, and I love this plant because it's it looks like a spirited sanctuary with a cheaper price tag. Of course, a spirited sanctuary is on everybody's plant wish list, but I know I won't be able to get one because I don't have the money for that. I have money for some of these plants. Some of these plants I'll have to save up for over time because, you know, I'm a teacher. I don't make a whole lot of money, so it's whatevs. With the adibapuense, they have red backs, like super, super vibrant red. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Next plant is, hold on, I'm gonna try to read this. I cannot get comfy. Okay, so next plant is Philodendron 69686. Now, this plant looks like it came from another planet. It's like super T-shaped, like it looks like a T, like the letter T or the letter Y. And I'm a sucker for really weird foliage and really big foliage. So, of course, my cat's going crazy right now. So, as I said, I just love the crazy foliage. I love how glossy it is, how weird it is, and the growth pattern is very wacky. It's like really stringy, kind of. So I think it's really neat. Now, next philodendron is Philodendron torta. Now, this leaf also, like this plant also looks like that it came from another planet. I love how wispy it looks, and then also, like, as the leaves unfurl, they also look like a corkscrew. So I think that's really neat. And like the way that it grows, it just grows out wide. It doesn't grow up, it grows out wide. So I could like hang this up somewhere and it would just dangle. So I think it's really cool. Also, a lot of these photos are actually from NIC Tropicals' website, and I will link her website down in the description. Okay, I will link her website down in the description. I have bought from her before, and she does package her plants very well. Next plant, and the last philodendron, is Philodendron squamiferum. Squammies. Ever since I saw a Plant Life in the Tropics video about her propagating her squamiferum and how tiny the babies were, I fell in love. They were just so cute. Plus, I'm on my Facebook, I see so many people posting photos of their squamiferums on huge poles and how wonderful they are. And then their petioles. Their petioles are like covered in like hair or fibers. It's so weird, but I love it. Just like the fibrosum, I love it. It's so neat. But I love this one more than the fibrosum because the leaves are like a really funky shape. They, it's not quite a horse head, but they have like a similar shape to a Florida ghost. I just love that leaf shape. I love it. So now I have my miscellaneous, kind of category. These are like different plants that aren't exactly one specific genus. It's a bunch of different genuses. So first plant in this category is Alocasia cuprea. This plant looks like an alien, and I love that. Love it. And the way that the coloring looks, it looks like that it was just forged from copper or some rare alloy. And the veining is just so dramatic, and the texture looks so cool. Like, I would just be so tempted to touch this plant all the time. I know you're not supposed to touch your plants all the time, but I'd just be so tempted to. It's just, and then the backs are like almost jet black. They're purple. They're dark purplish red, and then sometimes they can be almost black. Love it. Love. Okay, so next plant in this miscellaneous category is Platycerium bifurcatum. So I want a specific staghorn or Platycerium. I want the ones that have the huge paddles. Like, the paddles are just so cool. Like, I want one that's like curving out and just has a paddle on it. Paddle. Like, it's just so cool. The way it grows is so interesting to me. And I've been wanting a staghorn for a long time. But I just never found one that really clicked with me. Until I saw these pictures. And I was like, oh. And then I saw Plant Me Ashley buy one from, Orchid Dynasty. Yeah, she bought it from Orchid Dynasty, I think. And I was like, oh, I found the one for me. Next plant is a ZZ Raven or Zamiococcus or Zamiococcus Zamifolia Raven. So, I mean, I've been wanting this plant for a long time, like since a few years ago, but a few years ago, market price for these plants was so high, I was not going to pay $100 for this plant. I'm sorry. I I mean, also, a couple of years ago, I struggled to pay rent every month, so of course I was not going to spend that money on this plant. But now, it's so affordable. Like, my local nursery has them for 25 bucks. And they're huge. They're huge. And of course, I love me a gothic plant. It's low light. It's low maintenance. I'm low maintenance. So, perfect for me. So, I have 2 more plants. Both of these are Hoya. Now, this Hoya that I'm going to be talking about here, it seems common in a lot of places, but I have not been able to find it where I am. I've not been able to find it. And it is Hoya obovata. Now, I'm so attracted to Hoya obovata because of the paddled leaves. The paddled leaves, it looks so cool. And like other patterned Hoya or paddled shaped Hoya, so cool. I don't know why I like it. It's like, I would be so tempted to just like take a leaf and go, and just like hear the dunk, dunk, dunk. I know it's weird, but I don't know, I would just love that. And I can't find it anywhere where I'm at. And so it's like, it's hard to find for me. It's uncommon for me. Maybe common for you. But I don't know. Last plant. This is Hoya polynera, or the fishtail Hoya. This is like the Hoya version of the Monstera subpenata. The veining is so cool. Like, it's so dark compared to the foliage, and the way it grows and how it can just like cascade down so beautifully in a pot once it's large enough. It's just so amazing. I love it. Of course, there's a few plants that I didn't put on here because I will probably never ever get these plants. Like Spirit of Sanctity or Monstera obliqua. Like, I'm not gonna be able to get these plants. Like, they're $3,000. I'm not judging people for buying Spirit of Sanctities at all. If you have the money for it, great. I don't have the money for it. So, thank you for joining me in this plant wish list video. If you enjoyed it, you can give it a like. You can give it a dislike even. Tell me your wish list plants in the comments below if you feel like it. And if you want to, go ahead and subscribe for more planty content. This year, I actually want to post on here a lot more and actually get my channel established. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.